We're recording? Okay. Welcome back. Yeah.
Episode 2.
Tattoo Talk with Kat and Kat.
What are we talking about today?
Tattoo do's and don'ts.
You want to start with the positive or the negative?
Ooh. Um, okay, we'll start with the positives.
Okay.
Just because it's just so much nicer.
Yeah, okay.
Um, oh gosh.
Wash yourselves,
Yeah, wash yourselves.
please.
Um, yeah. Personal hygiene it's important. Um, I find that's my big one. I find because a lot of people are like, I'm here on my lunch break, or I just got off work, and they show up in their like work boots.
Oh, and you're doing an ankle tattoo?
Yeah,
And their sock has to come off. Yeah, I haven't actually experienced that too much. Like, it's definitely happened.
yeah,
Um, but I think it's just an overall, like, even specifically men, I find I'm doing like an inside bicep
hmm
and they have like hair from their armpit coming down to here. I'm like, you can trim it. Like, I'll do it for you, but like then I
yeah,
can tell they kind of feel a bit, if you just
yeah.
a little trim before.
Trimming's a thing too. Yeah, because
Yeah.
like we're always going to shave our clients, but
Mm-hmm.
there's something to be said about if you're incredibly hairy, just clip it up a little bit so that I'm not using 5 razors.
Yeah,
Like I don't want to use the setup for 5 different clients on one client.
for sure.
That's a big one. Yeah, clipping if you're a hairy guy
Yeah.
or gal, whatever.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Clip it up a bit. We are going to clean you with alcohol and soap prior to the tattoo, but sometimes that's not a full-on shower situation.
Yes, we appreciate when people come cleanly.
Yeah,
I think I like when people, you can tell that they like came prepared, like they're in comfy clothes.
yeah.
They're not showing up in like jeans to sit in for six
Clothing
hours.
accessible to the area that's being tattooed.
Huge. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think more often than not people show up in, yeah, just regular old clothing and they're like, yeah, so I'm getting my shoulder tattooed. I'm like, yeah. So are you comfortable with being shirtless?
We're gonna go be naked
Because you're going to
today.
be a little naked.
Yeah,
And I don't like putting people in that position where it's like you're going to be half naked.
for sure.
Bring layers, change into stuff. Yeah, we have an open
Yeah.
concept studio, so like as much as I would love to have a privacy screen available, it's just not.
It's not realistic in the space we have,
It's not
really.
realistic. So like, yeah, come prepared with extra set of clothing. Don't wear white.
Yeah, there's been so many times where I'm like, hey, I hope this isn't your favorite shirt. Because obviously we're not touching the clothing because it's, you don't want to
It's in
cross
close
contaminate. But it
proximity.
is like wiping and then, whatever. Like it just ends up kind of getting on it. Like the stencil I find
Oh,
always gets on like a bib shirt, like that,
yeah,
like whatever they're called. But yeah.
yeah. Um, hydration. Like we will offer water, but
Oh,
like
yeah.
bring your bubba.
We got the juices. We got the water and the
Bring your
juices.
bubba, but also like prior to even just like the appointment, staying hydrated and whatnot. Like I feel like it's just something that people need to do regularly, and I am preaching to the choir, and the choir is myself because I am the most dehydrated human on the face of the planet,
Yep.
and I am happy that way. But like you
I,
have to drink water. It keeps better for the elasticity of your skin.
mm-hmm.
Collagen, that's another one.
Collagen. I was just thinking, I know that we say that you're a house plant sometimes. I think you're a succulent.
I am a
I
succulent
think you're a little thirsty person sometimes,
sometimes.
you know? It's okay. But yeah, I definitely find, when people have been moisturizing, even if it's like a week before,
Oh
or
yeah.
they're like you're saying, like a hydrated person, it definitely helps with the elasticity of the skin and it like the healing
Mhm.
and the whole general process. I'm not like pounding on petroleum jelly while I'm tattooing as much.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Ansel, I hope that meow got in there. Um, yeah, the prepping. When clients don't go on vacation right after is always really nice too. Like
Yeah.
if they like, have the foresight to be like, okay, like I shouldn't go on like this all-inclusive trip for like what do you say, like a minimum a month. Like that really needs to heal before you're
Yeah.
in like extreme sun,
Oh,
like at
absolutely.
least a
Yeah,
month,
because like we
right?
tell people that your tattoos settle over what, like 6 to 8 weeks,
Yeah.
roughly. Like, I mean, it's gonna do even more settling over the course of like a year,
Yeah.
but yeah, fresh tattoo to direct sunlight, maybe not a good idea.
Yeah.
Also just like going on a vacation and then coming back with like sun-beaten leather skin.
Mm.
Um, yeah, sunscreen is your best friend.
For the rest of your life. Like, I know that that sounds dramatic, but like for black and gray, anyways, I definitely find that the
Oh,
longevity of a piece
yeah,
is gonna hold up way better if you keep it out of the sun. I mean, it's still good for you to have
color as
sunscreen on
well
in
because you're
general.
just getting
True.
the reaction to the UV and it changes the yeah, it changes the brightness of the tones
Hmm.
and then like depending on your skin tone, the way the sun reacts with it just changes everything overall. So like your reds become like a little more purpley, like just
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Found whites, white highlights.
White highlights yellow in the sun.
Yes, if it's like this person, let's say that they drive transport for a living and their arms like out the window, and it's
Yeah.
constantly getting that like full sun exposure. I definitely can notice like after a few years that a white highlight has a little bit of like a tinge to it, almost like a warm hue. I don't know that mine ever really did that, but we
I'm
investigate
looking.
the arm.
I don't know, I don't have that many white highlights on me, but I've seen them where like even just over a short period of time you can see that yellowing in the white where I'm like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
maybe we don't put white on ink on the skin.
Yeah. I think this is probably one of the main things that we always ask is if someone's eaten before their tattoo.
Oh my God, please eat before you get
Please.
tattooed.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how long you've been getting tattooed for. You know, none of us are heroes. Like you need to have a full stomach. Now the basis of that is to do with the blood sugars, right?
Yeah, just so that you
Okay.
don't like yeah, your glucose levels don't drop.
Yeah.
That thus causing like fainting,
Mm-hmm.
lightheadedness, you know, the lovely little wooziness.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's always like, did you eat today? Yeah, like I had a coffee. Oh my God, please, like again, preaching to the choir. Don't drink coffee before your tattoo.
Yeah.
It it like thins your blood.
Send your blood. Same with if you have people who do like excessive drinking the night before, they take Advil the day of. Any of that kind of stuff is kind of a,
All of that is a big
it's
no-no.
just, you know, if we could avoid it, all the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the better. But I think another big one that I really like is when people communicate when they're in the chair because we've all sat in the chair and we're like, my body hurts more from how I'm sitting than this actual tattoo, but they don't
Yeah.
want to interrupt. And I'm like, no, like tell me if you're uncomfortable. I want
Yeah.
this to be the best experience for you. So if you're like,
Absolutely.
hey, my butt's numb, can I like adjust right now? Like tell me that every 20 minutes if you need to. Like I want you to be comfortable.
Yeah, just let me know before you shift. It's
Yeah.
just a simple little communication, just like, I can't feel my ass. Can I please move?
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, let me pull the machine away first.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that,
Communication.
yeah, communication is key. Um, yeah.
Love reference photos. When people
Oh,
send, you know, and they're not like I love creative freedom. Like that back piece I did, the guy came in and he's like, tattoo wherever you want on my body, whatever you want. And I was like, are you kidding me? I love you. Like this is insane.
yeah,
That's a huge bonus. But sometimes when I can tell someone is maybe a little bit more particular, which is fine, if
yeah,
they can bring in a reference photo, because not
yeah,
everyone can articulate the way that they would like to. So for me to have it, I'm a very visual person to be like, hey, this is a tattoo that I found online and I like this about it. I'm not
yeah.
copying it, of course, but it's just nice to have
Just one little
understanding.
visual
Yeah.
to bank and be like, this is what they had in mind. This is kind of what we're gonna go for.
Yeah.
Is so nice. Yeah, because sometimes drawing from nothing is just tedious and not knowing what their desired outcome is
Yeah.
is just so challenging.
What I really like too is when they come in and it's like, hey, like they literally show me like my own Instagram. They're like, I like this piece that you did.
Yes.
And I'm like, thank you. That's like such a good reference for me in terms of whether it's like I like the flow lines that you did or the
Yeah.
lightning filler or whatever it is. And like you can show me someone else's work too. It's still gonna help me. But if it's something that I specifically have done, then it's that much more like, oh, I really like
Yep.
that's nice that,
Yeah.
you know?
Or I'm like, oh yeah, I was drawn to like how boosted the blacks were in this one, like your high contrast pieces compared to your really soft black and gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I mean there's the other spectrum of that one. Expectation. I think we're pretty good at setting expectation though. Like I for myself anyway, I'm pretty blessed with some amazing clients that like are very trusting,
Mm-hmm.
which I love. They're like, "Hey, do your thing." Like I know creative freedom is usually the move. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is kind of what I'm thinking. These are my my IDs, these are my reference photos, but like you do your thing with it.
Yeah,
I think that's how you're going to get the best result every time.
that's so nice.
Right? Cuz it's not that we know all, but if you're going to someone in not just the art industry in any sort of aspect, I'm not going to go bring my car into a mechanic and be like, "Hey, but like make sure you do it this way."
No.
It's like, yeah, please do this specifically, like as the job I need
Yeah.
done. But whatever you think the best way is to get that done, then have at her.
And please do.
Never been
Master of the craft.
compared to a mechanic before, but it's all right. I do appreciate the trust, though. I feel like sometimes we get removed from the fact that it's so permanent, and
It's so permanent.
yeah. So I really am grateful that people trust us with, I mean, their skin the rest of their life. Like that's huge. So
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of not to say there's a lack of thought in some cases where it's just like,
sure.
I want to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What of?
Yeah.
And are you sure?
Yeah.
Um,
I also this is kind of more towards other tattoo artists and something for clients to keep in mind too. But if you have people who do like a flash day and they get like this little thing of a toonie and they're just like banging them out and they're like, oh, you want to put it like here? They put it on there. I'm like,
right in the center of a canvas.
where it could have been a huge piece. And I'm
Yeah.
like, take the 2 seconds. I get it's a
To
busy
be like,
day.
hey, do you have an
Yeah.
idea of the future
Yeah.
of your tattoos?
Yeah.
That's like, when I first started getting tattooed, I just started slapping them everywhere.
Yeah.
And now I'm just going through and like filling in the gaps.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's definitely nice to take those like that minute and be like, cool. Do you see yourself having like a patchwork sleeve?
Mm-hmm.
Is
Mm-hmm.
this going to be your only tattoo?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to mix multiple styles?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure you want it right in the center of, yeah, prime real estate?
I don't know how many times I've had someone come in, and I'm sure this is challenging with traditional as well, but
Yeah.
for realism, we have this script right here, right in the moneymaker, you know? And that's my favorite spot to put portraits. I love it. It's probably my favorite piece on the
But
body
it's
to
like
tattoo.
when it's a script and it's not even like right up against the ditch either.
Come on.
It's like 2 inches down from the ditch.
No, it's where the eyes of the portrait's going.
Exactly.
Get out of here. Do you know, like I get, and then like some people have that and it looks sick on its own, but like just think
It's
if you
also the
ever
script from like elbow to wrist
Dude,
down the arm.
try and blend all the way around. Good luck. Like it just doesn't flow as well as it could.
No.
You know,
No.
so I think it's kind of having a second thought of what's my plan for my body, and not a lot of people know that.
No.
But doing a little bit of research and figuring out, and also trusting the opinion of the person that you're choosing to go to, and being like, hey,
Absolutely.
should I put this here? Do you think it could go better somewhere else?
That's always fun.
Yeah.
I like that where it's like, well, I want it just like this is where I want it. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
but it could fit better, or the placement would look nicer on this part of the body, or if we just move it up those like 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I've had that recently too, where it's just like, no, I want it like smack dab in the middle of my thigh. Or it's like, no, we can push it down above your knee, so we still have that open canvas, or we can push it off to the side and go with like the muscle flow. Something it's so simple.
Just the little things, right?
Yeah.
The little things where we're not just suggesting that out of nowhere. Like there is a reason behind it, right? Like it's just
Yeah.
the way that it flows on the body, which I think placement is kind of underrated. Like I don't think it's something that's as talked about as heavily as much
It should be.
as the yeah.
That's something I wish I knew sooner.
Same.
Was like, yeah, flow and placement, and like how we break up panels of the body to fit specific pieces. Where yeah, it's like, well, I want a tattoo. We're just gonna stamp it there, and then you're like, ooh, what do we do? Like, what do we do around these like 4 inches now?
Yeah.
That's absolutely what I did with my body.
For trad, is it similar to black and gray where someone comes in for a sleeve and I'm like, okay, we have our 4 main focal points. We got our one flank here, 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 and here. So outside bicep, inside bicep, outside forearm, inside forearm, and then you have your filler spots.
Yeah, it would roughly be the same way, like if they wanted large trad.
Large, okay.
Yeah,
True.
but if you're just doing like what you'd see in traditional with like your palm size pieces, yeah, you definitely do like you always see everyone getting the top of the bicep, or like just below the ditch, or just below the elbow, and then you just start like I don't know. I feel like there's a flow to doing traditional that way where it's just like hit on the muscles
Yeah.
and then fill the gaps between just so
Mm-hmm.
that it's, I don't know, making windows, if that
True.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I really like that you did a piece the other day, and I mean, I've seen this placement from you quite a few times, and I mean, from any trad artist, but like that elbow,
Oh, the
like the
hinge.
the, the upper elbow, kind of like the outside of the
Yeah.
arm. For those who aren't visibly watching this, it's kind of like that elbow bend spot
Yeah.
where you do a floral piece or like a moth or
Yeah,
something. I
because
think
it's
it looks so
something nice
sick.
to connect like the top to the bottom.
Yeah, that movement piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really dig that. I feel like people have been a lot more open to like different styles. Like there's been a few people getting like all red tattoos, which I think is really cool. Like I like that people are coming in with.
I get so scared every single time,
I don't
wondering
think I've
how.
even done that. Like just a red ink. I don't think I've done that.
I have a couple clients that only get red tattoos, but
That's
it just
cool.
like every time I'm like, okay, I know that you heal fine and I don't have to worry about like how it's going to heal on them particularly, but
Mm.
red seems to be a color that you just see that's healed horribly over time on people.
So
And I
okay, certain skin types or
certain
like
yeah, I guess. I don't know.
yeah.
It's just one of those things where I'm like, "Oh God, I love the look of it," but also like how are you going to react?
Oh, because the dyes or whatever, right? Like
I
some
think
people, I think it's
so.
the most reacted pigment,
Yeah.
like issues for healing and allergic reactions
Just looks
is
so
red.
cool.
Yeah, no, it does. I think it looks yeah super cool. Even like that trash polka is that what it's called, where it's like the all black and gray, and then they
Black and
have
gray with the red
the
like
red highlights or
paint
like the paint
swipes.
swipes. That's old school. Well, I mean, not really. It's old school to someone who's
About 20 years
of
old.
our age. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
So,
old schooler tattooers would laugh at that, but that's
sorry.
okay. Yeah, no, no, I love that. For dues, I think research is something that I always respect. Like if someone comes, there's that TikToker guy that'll be like make these funny jokes where a guy comes in and he's like, I want to get this style. And he's like, yeah, go on my Instagram and show me a piece that I've done that's like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Not to
yeah.
be arrogant and be like, only come to me for what I do, but it's like, why are you coming to me asking me to do something where someone down the street's gonna do a better job? Go to the
Absolutely.
person who's gonna be passionate about it.
Yeah.
You know, like
Ooh, yeah, research your artist for sure because like
yeah,
even with like our watercolor requests, I'm like, "Oh, I don't it's not my brain can't comprehend."
I, yeah, I don't. They're very popular. People
They're
request them
very
all the time.
popular, but I can't, man,
I don't think I've ever done one.
I can't.
Yeah,
Just diluting your pigment that much.
is that it's just watered down? It's not necessarily a lighter color,
I
right?
mean, I'm sure there's a difference between like, yeah, you can dilute your pigments down or you can give the look of like paint splashes.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But I don't, that's not my artwork.
It looks cool, and I get why it's requested, but maybe find someone. And I mean, Riley's great. Like, we really try to, if we're not going to take it on, we try and suggest someone who can do it and it's going to
Oh,
do it justice, right? Like, a lot of the times, whether it's local, obviously we try and suggest local first, but if it's someone out of town that they have to go to, or, go to the person who's going to do that
yeah.
properly.
Yeah, research is definitely a big one. Like when you get requests for like script.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why people want me to do script.
Because
I
you
don't
can do
know.
portraits, so you got to know how to do script.
Like, I like to think I can pull lines, but like I don't do them every day. So
Yeah.
we're kind of living on the edge. I'm like, I'll give it a go. But yeah, I don't know why either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got research your artist. We've got personal hygiene. Um, yeah, pre and post care would be like
Mm-hmm.
your sunscreen,
Mm-hmm.
moisturizing, hydration, upkeep on things like that. Like I said before, a collagen. Like
Mm-hmm.
after a certain age, your body doesn't stop, but doesn't produce as much of its own collagen. So like taking those like vitamins and supplements to help with the elasticity of your skin.
Yeah.
Um, what else? What else? What else? What else?
For don'ts, I feel like there's um yeah, we can talk about this. I feel like there's a trend with people getting artwork of other cultures and they're not of that culture.
We're going right to it.
I think it's something that we can talk about because I don't think it's known and I don't think people are doing it maliciously. Like I think people think it's a really cool artwork,
Yeah.
or they really love that culture. But if they're not ornate to that culture, I feel uncomfortable putting it on them. So
Yeah.
I say no.
Oh yeah. No, like I feel like
Like
that's one of our
it's,
first things is a disclaimer being like, are you of this cultural descent?
yeah.
Yes, no. Are you aware that this is what it is? Like, uh, yeah. It's an are we going to start listing the don'ts in that?
I
Because
think
like,
people can research it pretty easily. I think
yeah,
that we can maybe give an example. Like the most that I've seen for myself is someone who isn't of an indigenous background
yeah,
wanting to get someone with a headdress or a
yeah,
dream catcher or something. And I don't think that they are asking for that, knowing that that is maybe not the most appropriate decision. But
yeah,
we always be like, hey, like, even if they visibly look like they are of that culture, I still always ask. I'm like, I'm not trying
yeah,
to be offensive or anything. I just want you to know that, like, I will only do this on you if you are of that culture.
yeah.
Because that's not my place to be putting that on a Caucasian person. Like, it's just
Tribal,
tribal,
Blackfoot.
yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I,
I don't, yeah, what tribe are you from?
it's
Exactly. Like, oh my God,
Polynesian. Yeah, we're listing them.
Polynesian
We're
and
listing
like
them.
Maori. Yeah,
I know.
Maori tribal tattoos. We get so many requests for things like that. And I'm like, you're showing me a Maori design.
Yeah.
Are you from New Zealand and or Australia? You're white and you live in a small town in northern Canada.
Live in the pea patch. But even with all of that said, I really wish that we had a kick-ass indigenous artist or a Polynesian artist or someone who themselves was of that descent, because I would love to give them the work.
Yeah.
I'll still do it. No,
No,
no, no,
they
no, no. I'm
wouldn't
not
do it
saying to
on.
do it on a white person. Even if an indigenous person is coming to me and being like, "Hey, I really want you to highlight my culture and do this tattoo for me," I wish that there was an indigenous artist that could
That could
do it
do
for
that
it.
for them
I will still love to do it
every
and be a
time.
part of that. I think is so beautiful that they're trusting me with it. But I really wish we had an indigenous artist or of X, Y, and Z of whatever they're going. Do you know what I mean? Like it would
Every
be really
time.
cool to
Every time
that
I
the
get a
money's
request for
going
like the red
to that.
dress, the murdered missing Indigenous woman,
Yes.
any type of request along those lines, I'm like, yes, I will absolutely do this for you, but I wish there was this person who can do it for you
Yeah,
because that's not my place.
I know. But you don't want to say no because it's
I
something
don't want
that
to
they're
say
wanting
no
to
and it's
do,
something they want me.
and
Yeah,
maybe that's a healing thing for them.
I
So it's
know.
an
And
interesting.
I'm so thankful for people that come to me for that,
I know.
but there's also a part of me that's like, man, I'm so white.
Yeah, same. The privilege. I know. It's
The
like I don't
privilege.
even. Yeah,
Yeah, that fucking breaks me every time.
I know.
I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm gonna permanently mark your body now. Oh, I'm gonna think about that a lot.
Way different topic, but portraits. When people come to me asking me to do like someone who's died, I could literally cry just thinking about it. Like
Mm-hmm.
to be, even if it's not a portrait, even if it's like someone's signature of like their dad or their kid. Whenever it's
Mm-hmm.
kids, I'm like, I'm so honored to do
Mm-mm.
it, but like I literally get chills even thinking about being trusted with that or
Yeah.
being a part of that. Like,
How often do we cry in the shop though when our clients
oh
come
my
in and start,
God.
I'm sorry, trauma dumping, but like
Yeah.
it's we obviously create a space for them to do that, but
Yeah.
I find I'm crying constantly.
Yeah.
So affected by our clients coming in and telling us their stories and their journeys and just like
Yeah.
feeling safe enough to let us.
Yeah. It's such an honor. And I just like, I can feel their weight and I can't even imagine what they're going through. But it's just like to be a part of that and to have them trust you with that is
Mm-hmm.
just such an overwhelming. I have so much gratitude for the trust that people give us.
Yeah.
And it's just so heavy and so emotional sometimes. And I don't know about you, but like I never ask what a tattoo means or represents.
I try not to.
I try not, like you can tell if someone maybe wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
Usually they're the ones to bring it up, but it's, you know what I mean?
My
You
brain
have a story?
no, my brain my brain just goes to like when we were younger, did you watch like Miami Ink? It would be
I'd
like, what
seen a
brings you in
couple.
today? Why are you getting this
Yeah,
tattoo?
yeah, yeah.
Oh man, that's deep. You want to elaborate? Like, no.
Getting the tea.
Like, I don't want to ask every time. I don't want to ask every time because sometimes it's just like, that's heavy. And then I'm going to be distracted while I'm trying to work because I'm just going to be ruminating on like, fuck, that's deep.
And sometimes they don't want to talk about it,
Yeah.
and that's their place to share. So I actually have a story from when I was down south. There was an apprentice that kind of put their foot in their mouth, and it was like a learning experience for all of us because I don't know how many artists were there at the time, maybe like 6 or 7 of us. But this guy was getting a tattoo, and another tattoo he had on him. Like the apprentice was just like chumming around and like kind of joking with him. And he's like, "Oh yeah, like what does that mean?" And it was a toilet paper roll. He had a tattoo of a toilet paper roll on him. So I guess outwardly, someone would be like, "Why would you have that?"
Yeah.
I would never ask, but like the apprentice did, and the guy like you could tell the client was just kind of like getting weird about it. And so the kid was like kind of bugging him, like trying to like make a joke or whatever. And he's like, actually, if you look at that tattoo in the stitching, it has a date, and my cousin died. And the last thing that we did together was TP a house. And I was like, yeah, you just gotta be like so careful because you never know what something means to someone, or
And sometimes it's just some of the silliest little tattoos.
yeah, can be like the most meaningful. And like I think that's so cool. Like what a
Yeah.
great way to
Oh,
commemorate
that's
someone. I know.
heartbreaking.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. Don't cry. Don't cry. But yeah, and I think one that I know that we say all the time, and I should probably stop, but like it's like we kind of make jokes about infinity symbols. And I'm like, I know someone's been in the shop and had an infinity symbol while we crack that joke. Please stop getting infinity symbols.
It's hard. I think it's because people don't realize that like, okay, it's a mathematical symbol. It's infinity. It is literally it's perfect. And you want this perfect little symbol where like the length and the height of it is very specific. And then Pinterest just ran with it. And then now it's just like, cool, guys, what a challenge for me. Like it's small, but it's mortifying every time we get that request. I'm like, I don't want to do another one. I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
And it's always
It's so hard. It's a continuous line.
and a continuous line, but I also want all of my 8 kids' names incorporated with a paw print and a date. And I'm like, that's not possible, right?
Yeah, over 3
I want
inches
everything in the kitchen sink.
in a 3-inch tattoo
Yeah.
on a continuous line.
Yeah.
Research.
Yo, I had someone time me once. That's happened one time.
Oh,
Someone literally like had their phone and was timing me because at that point, which was like years ago, I was doing hourly,
okay.
and they were like really adamant that they didn't, I guess, want to pay as much, like whatever it was going to cost. So they were literally like timing me. If I would stop or anything, they'd stop like the stopwatch and then keep. I'm like, what? And at the end, they were like showing me, and I'm like, what is happening?
Don't time your artist.
That was so bizarre.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's nerve-wracking. Like you're already working like within a time constraint depending on like your shop hours, your life outside of work. And then to have someone use a stopwatch on you?
Nuts. Medical. So I think that something else is okay. So if you're pregnant,
That's
no
enough.
tattoos.
Nope.
Breastfeeding. I've heard mixed things. We just say no to be on the safe side because I don't want to get sued. But I think it's like the pump and dump thing with the same as drinking. Is that
It's
correct?
the same as drinking.
To your knowledge?
Yeah, pump and dump.
Okay.
But also consult your OB or your GP.
Yeah, I'm far from that, so don't ask me. We just kind of lean on the side of caution and say don't get it
Don't.
done. But if if your GP says it's fine, then like I'll trust your doctor.
Yeah, I tell them pump and dump, but there's always that risk of letdown happening during your appointment because your body is in duress. So just like if you are breastfeeding and your OB says it's okay, do your pump and dump prior to your appointment and be prepared to have like breast pads or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good advice.
I think so.
Yeah. Don't be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. And if you are someone who likes to
Punch Puff,
You
puff, pass
just
prior
don't tell
to.
me about it. Okay, but there's actual, like, when you come in and sign a waiver,
Yeah.
when you're signing a legal document, you cannot be visibly under the influence of drugs or alcohol because I think it like dismisses that in like a court of law, basically, because you
Yeah, you have
weren't
like you.
signing it under the
Yeah,
right.
you're like not to say you're not coherent.
But you're under the influence, like you're not of
You're under.
sound mind.
Yeah. Um.
But also, I don't want to be tattooing you when you're all hammered. Like, that's not fun for me.
No. Oh, and that's such a mess for us too, with the
Yeah.
like thinning of the blood, the excess like plasma and sebum while you're in that state
Yeah,
is
there's
a
so much more
lot.
wiping involved, and like it just makes it, you
And
lose your stencil easier, and
and your
it's
client probably isn't going to be the most still,
no,
probably more reactive to pain.
probably. Um,
Man, we our shop operates between 12 and like 6. So I mean, if you're hammered
well
within a
done.
right?
Like, what were you doing
Right?
this
Like I get
morning?
it. Like I understand that's more of a thing for like street shops and
Mm,
shops in bigger cities. Like I can only imagine what happens in like like the shops in the casinos in Vegas.
it's nuts.
None of those people are sober. There's no freaking
Never.
way.
Mm-mm.
There's no way.
Mm-mm.
So like that kind of stuff makes me nervous. But like man, all the power to you. If you're drunk and getting tattooed by us in the middle of the day and we have no idea, wow.
Keeping it
Um,
under wraps for
keep it
sure.
under wraps for sure. But I mean, yeah, we obviously won't tattoo anyone who is blatantly under the influence.
No, no, definitely not.
I'm a little on the fence when it comes to like smoking weed.
Yeah,
I feel like that's an individual thing.
I just don't want to know about it.
Yeah,
Just don't tell me.
yeah.
Do whatever you want. Go outside and say you're having a smoke,
Don't
but don't
ask,
tell
don't
me about
tell.
it. I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yep.
There's definitely some other things where like I've had people who were had surgery, they had radiation, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like ask your doctor
Yeah.
for all those types of things.
Yeah, because like especially if you're like actively undergoing chemo and radiation,
Mm-hmm.
please, yeah, ask your doctor because there's always that risk of infection,
Mm-hmm.
and other adverse reactions to getting tattooed and having your body under so much stress.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Same thing goes for like certain medications.
Right.
Um, we do ask about diabetics.
Epilepsy.
Epilepsy
Mm-hmm.
is another big one.
We just want to know.
Yeah, we just want to
Like,
know. It's not going to stop you from getting your tattoo, but we
yeah,
just like to know how to be prepared
yeah, depending on the
medically.
severity for sure.
Yeah, because there's nothing
Heads up.
like having your client pass out on you.
That happens a lot.
It does happen a lot.
Oh, I have a story.
Okay, another
Okay,
one.
I got a good story. So yeah, down south we have someone who I suspect was under the influence of something.
Okay.
You know, I'm a detective, and this guy gets up mid tattoo, falls flat on his face, and voids his bowels.
Oh
He shit
no.
himself. I'm not like ha ha ha, but like
That's sad.
that's so sad. But he was like visibly like not well.
Yeah.
Gets up, sits back in the chair like he didn't just shit himself, and is insisting that the tattoo get finished. And we're like, we're calling an ambulance. And
Yeah.
he's like, I'm chill, I'm good.
Your pants are not, sir.
What what drugs are you on that you shit yourself and you don't know? No, I know, like that's
I
tragic,
can't
like that's
stop it.
terrible.
That's terrible.
But like what goes on?
Oh, that's
I
awful.
that's the only time I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I don't think.
I wouldn't have tattooed because you could tell like when he came in he was under the influence. Like I would have said no
Yeah.
to
Okay, it
tattoo this
wasn't your
person.
client. It was
No,
someone
no, no, no,
else's
no. This was
client.
someone else's client. Yeah, yeah. And it was like we're like in downtown Toronto. Like apprentices just want to tattoo people. Like they're kind
Yeah.
of taking on whatever they can get through the door, kind of thing. But yeah, no, this person was like,
Mm-mm.
yeah,
That sucks.
it does suck for sure. Yeah, that sucks for sure. That's my story.
Bring spare clothing.
Bring spare clothing. Bring some spare underwear. I have a client who changes his t-shirt like halfway through because he's so paranoid that he's sweating and he's gonna smell. I'm like, I respect that. Thank you.
That's great.
Right?
Oh,
That's nice.
yeah.
I don't do that when I go to tattoo appointments, but
No. No, I mean,
also,
I try and do the whole like dress for the area that's getting tattooed, or I'll bring like
I just get naked.
Yeah, you
I
do.
feel like it's easier.
Not not everyone's comfortable with that.
I respect that, but even, like I did a butt tattoo not too long ago and I booked it in the evening
Yeah.
because I'm like, not everyone wants their booty hanging out, but that was a nice butt. Like she should have been proud of that and came during the day.
Yeah.
I can say that because my client would love that I said that. So
Yeah.
it's Linda.
2 shout outs.
2 shout outs, back to back episodes. So I think that, yeah, that's something to be said, but
Yeah. Under the influence is a big no.
yeah.
Um, I'm gonna come out here and say it. Don't bring your kids.
Okay. Interesting. I like when they stop in.
I like when they stop in
yeah.
and say hi
So cute.
for like piercing appointments or like a quick script. But don't bring your kid to a whole multiple hours thing.
I have another story.
Oh my gosh, you have so many stories. Like, I also can't talk because my daughter is being raised in a tattoo shop.
I love it. I love normalizing that.
No, it's great. But also, like, there's also, like, how are you going to keep your kid occupied for 5 hours?
That's a lot.
Don't bring your kid that long.
That's a lot.
It's it's a clean environment, but it's not a safe environment for tiny hands.
To be there long term, like to
Yeah.
be there for like more than like a 20-minute thing for sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
30 minutes or less.
Okay.
Bring your children.
Respect.
We love to see them. They're adorable.
Yeah.
Anything longer than 30 minutes,
No go.
no go. That's
Can't
a
do
no.
it. Can't do it. That's a
That's a
no.
no.
But I love when Lorelai comes if there's like a PD day.
Yes, because she wants to work with us.
When she wanted her birthday party so she could do tattoos for her friends.
Yes.
My heart.
She is a tattooer.
Oh,
You
so
don't own
cute.
DTC. She does.
I'm
Did you-
aware.
okay.
Oh, I know. I know. She can have it. She's
It's
crushing
not
it.
your tattoo shop. It's the 7-year-olds.
But even at the studio I worked at in Toronto, like I think they have like a 4 or 5 kids now. But
Nice.
like they like were always in the studio and it was so cute and they would.
Nice.
It's nice.
It's nice when they understand. Like, she knows
Yeah.
the rules. Like, she doesn't come anywhere near the stations, right?
That's the
like,
difference.
She hangs out in the back room. She hangs out in the basement. She hangs out at the desk with Riley.
Mm-hmm.
You will not see her walk anywhere near our stations because she's like, that's a no-go zone.
Another person's children may not understand that, and we don't want them to like touch something that would put them at risk, or like it's definitely.
Yeah, kids are fumbly. They drop things, they throw things, they make noise, and that's just
We're also fumbly. We don't need multiple fumbly things.
no.
Yeah.
What's your story?
Oh, okay. So one of my good clients, their kids came in, like the husband or partner came and brought the kids in to say hi to mom while she's getting tattooed. And I have those nude paintings.
Yes.
So there's these nude paintings, and there's one where like the girl's facing forward, and then the one where like the girl's facing from behind.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess later that night at the dinner table, the little boy, who I don't know, I'm gonna say he's like 7 or 8, like he's like a young kid. He goes, I was thinking about it, and I really liked the girl from the image from behind more than the image from the front.
Slay.
He's an ass man, 8
He's
years
an
old,
ass man.
already knows.
I like that angle.
Same. No, I'm a front girl, but like
I'm an
I
ass
appreciate you have a nice butt.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But how funny is that?
That's so cute.
We need to normalize nudity and naked bodies. I love it.
Yeah, normalize it that it's not sexual.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I went sexual with it, but like, that's me. But like, in a way of like, it's a body. That's like the original artwork was all bodies.
Forms.
Forms.
Yes. Yep.
It's the most beautiful part of art.
Yep.
In my opinion, anyways. But
oh no, I'd have to agree. What do I paint? My last painting was a bum.
This is a nice bum.
It's a nice bum.
Yeah, as you should.
Thank you.
Yep.
My next painting, more naked bodies.
Two
of them.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
I like that. I like that a lot. Any more do's and don'ts? I think we should ask Riley. Is there any do's and don'ts that you think that we missed? Please be nice to us. Please be really nice to Riley, our manager.
Yeah.
She works very hard.
Do be nice to the shop.
Do not leave reviews.
Oh my god. Yeah, see, that's the thing. You know what? If we're going to talk about reviews, we can talk about reviews. If you have something to say, I always say it. Like, if there's anything wrong with your tattoo, Tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the shop manager.
Mm-hmm.
You come to us first.
Mm-hmm.
Come to us.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think I'm very open and forgiving. And if
100%.
I've fucked something up, I want to fix that. I
Please
will
tell me.
always want to fix it. Please tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pettiness is a no.
Mm-hmm.
Pettiness is a no.
Slandering. We're fortunate we
Slander.
don't really deal with that too much.
No, but just
But
seeing
even I see it happen to other shops too. Like it's definitely people in general love to attack people. It's wild.
but because it's so easy now.
Yeah.
It's so easy now.
Yeah.
Because you could, yeah, hiding behind a username, leaving anonymous reviews, that kind of stuff is just, yeah, I get it. There's a place for that because obviously it's been made available. But maybe don't. If you have beef, take it up with the person you have beef with.
Yes, well, I think we've had like 2 1-star reviews on Google since we've opened. I don't know, I don't keep track, but like it hasn't been a lot. One of them, the girl's never been in the studio. I'm like,
Ew. We don't know you.
what?
We looked you up.
Are you looking to get a free tattoo? Like, what is this?
Yeah, you're not going to get a free tattoo anyways.
That's wild. No, I don't care. Like, there's not a chance. But like,
Yeah.
what?
I don't know.
We don't negotiate with terrorism. Was that the thing? Terrorists.
Terrorists. We don't negotiate with terrorists.
They're
do's-
terrorizing.
Do's and don'ts. We are a safe space, so we have no space for hate.
Thank you.
Yeah. Heterophobia. Me as fuck. There is no space for heterophobia in our shop.
There's always. You guys have a crush on a man, you guys will quit.
Homophobia, transphobia, any sort of racism,
Yeah. Discriminatory nature. Not
Anything-
welcome.
discriminatory.
Yeah.
Bye.
If you like Donald Trump,
Don't even walk in the shop.
don't talk about it. Don't talk about any politics. Honestly,
Oh, but I love.
I know we are clearly very
I
loving people and
love
very
to shout from the rooftops about how I hate our government.
another podcast.
Another podcast.
Another podcast. But I think that's, I think we should just slightly talk about, we were doing a fundraiser and we had signs that were like honk for the gays
Yeah.
and people booed us
During Pride.
during
Month.
Pride Month. I'm like, yo, I'll throw down right now. I've never thrown a punch in my life, but I'll try it out. That's not a threat. Don't come at me. But like, what is with the hate in this world?
I don't know. We don't have room for that at all.
No, zero room.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else if you're one of those people. That's all.
That's it. Honestly, those are the big ones. Definitely, like, yeah.
Also, if you're a stinky man, don't fucking hit on me. Is that funny to you?
Yeah, it's funny to me.
You want the stinky man to hit on you? You'd murder them.
No, I don't like when the stinky men hit on me. I just
No.
still think it's so funny that stinky men hit on me.
You're screaming gay. Like, it's literally on your forehead. Not to out you to the
Gay.
public. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, I don't get it.
Homosexual.
This
But
is a
like, bro, if you're hitting on me, that means you're also kind of into dudes.
great way to end the podcast.
So good.
I love it.
We're done?
We're done.
Nice.
Nice to see you. Angela is working on a jingle. So maybe next podcast you'll get a little
taste of something.
A little taste of something.
This has been Tattoo Talk with Cat and Cat.
Bye.
Us.